You think you're eating healthy. Some everyday foods could be silently packing on stubborn belly fat after 50, and you probably have them in your kitchen right now. When we're young, our metabolism works like a finely tuned engine. It burns fuel quickly, repairs tissues rapidly, and balances hormones almost effortlessly. But after 50, everything changes. Hormones shift, metabolism slows, muscle mass decreases, and the foods that once seemed harmless, or even beneficial, can suddenly turn into fat-promoting traps. And here's the kicker: many of these foods are labeled as healthy, light, or natural. The marketing tricks you into believing they're your allies, but inside your body, they are triggering insulin spikes, increasing inflammation, and instructing your system to store fat, especially in your belly. Belly fat isn't just about appearance. It's dangerous fat, often visceral fat that wraps around internal organs like the liver, pancreas, and intestines. It's linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, certain cancers, and even cognitive decline. For people over 50, reducing belly fat isn't vanity, it's a matter of long-term health and vitality. So what foods are silently sabotaging your waistline? Let's begin by exposing some of the worst offenders. 1. The healthy breakfast that isn't. Cereal, granola, and flavored oatmeal packets. These are classic examples of foods disguised as healthful. Walk down any supermarket aisle and you'll see boxes plastered with promises: heart healthy, whole grain, low fat, or a good source of vitamins. But look closer, and you'll notice the real story: hidden sugars, processed carbs, and chemicals that wreak havoc on your metabolism. Breakfast cereal, even whole grain versions, often contain added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. They may spike blood sugar quickly, leading to insulin surges that promote belly fat storage. Granola, marketed as natural and wholesome, granola often contains added syrups, oils, and as much sugar as a candy bar. Instant oatmeal packets. While plain oats are excellent for health, flavored packets come with added sweeteners and artificial ingredients that erase the benefits. The danger after 50 is that insulin sensitivity declines. That means every sugar spike results in more fat storage, particularly in the abdomen. 2. Fruit juices and smoothies. It's easy to think that fruit juice or a store-bought smoothie is a quick health boost. But here's the reality: they are sugar bombs in disguise. A single glass of orange juice can contain the sugar equivalent of several oranges without the fiber to slow absorption. Smoothies, especially pre-packaged ones, are often packed with fruit concentrates, yogurt with added sugar, or even syrups. Without fiber, the body absorbs these sugars rapidly, causing blood glucose to spike and fall dramatically. The result: increased hunger, cravings, and fat storage. Over time, this rollercoaster worsens insulin resistance, a condition common after 50 that accelerates belly fat accumulation. 3. Low-fat and diet foods. Remember the low-fat craze of the 80s and 90s. Many people over 50 grew up with the belief that fat was the enemy. Food manufacturers took advantage of that fear by creating low-fat yogurts, dressings, cookies, and snacks. Here's the trap: when fat is removed, flavor disappears. To make up for it, companies add sugar, starches, and artificial thickeners. These ingredients spike blood sugar, encourage fat gain, and often trigger overeating. Real, healthy fats, like those from avocados, nuts, olive oil, and fatty fish, actually help regulate hormones, keep you full, and support fat metabolism. But low-fat processed foods do the opposite. 4. White carbs disguised as wholesome. White bread, pasta, bagels, crackers. These are obvious refined carbs. But many products labeled multigrain or wheat are just as bad. Unless the label says 100% whole grain and the first ingredient is whole wheat, it's likely just white flour dressed up in marketing. After 50, muscle mass naturally decreases. That means fewer calories are burned at rest. Combine that with refined carbs that digest quickly into sugar, and you have a perfect recipe for belly fat storage. 5. You've already seen how some of the so-called healthy staples, cereals, juices, low-fat foods, are quietly contributing to belly fat. But the sabotage doesn't stop there. The next big trap is in the snacks, drinks, and condiments you reach for every single day. The tricky part: most of these foods don't look unhealthy. They are small, packaged neatly, and often labeled with comforting words like natural, light, or zero. But inside, they contain the very ingredients that fuel fat storage, accelerate aging, and wreak havoc on your hormones after 50. Let's expose these silent saboteurs one by one. 1. Healthy snack bars and energy bars. Snack bars are marketed as convenient nutrition boosters, something to grab between meals or before a workout. But flip the package over, and you'll see the truth. Most of them are glorified candy bars. Hidden sugars. Many contain corn syrup, cane sugar, honey, or agave, all forms of sugar that spike blood glucose. Refined carbs, rice crisps, syrups, and processed oats are quickly digested into glucose. Cheap oils, soybean, canola, or palm oil, which increase inflammation and make fat harder to lose. The problem after 50 is that your body doesn't buffer these spikes as well as it once did. What used to give you a quick boost in your 20s now lingers as belly fat. Better choice. Make your own trail mix with nuts, seeds, and a small handful of dried fruit. You'll get protein, healthy fats, and fiber without the sugar overload. 2. Coffee creamers and flavored add-ins. Coffee itself can be a metabolism-boosting ally, but what you add to it can transform it into a belly fat bomb. Flavored creamers, often made with hydrogenated oils, artificial flavors, and high amounts of sugar. Sugar-free versions. These rely on artificial sweeteners that may disrupt gut bacteria, increase cravings, and actually lead to weight gain. Whipped toppings and syrups, high in sugar, calories, and chemicals your body struggles to process. For someone over 50, this is particularly harmful because insulin resistance and hormonal changes mean those extra spoonfuls of sugar, or sugar substitutes, translate directly into stubborn fat. Better choice. Use unsweetened almond milk, coconut milk, or a splash of real cream with a natural sweetener like stevia or cinnamon. 3. Soda and zero-calorie drinks. It's no secret that regular soda is bad. It's essentially liquid sugar. But what about the zero-calorie or diet versions? Artificially sweetened sodas trick your brain into expecting sugar. When it doesn't arrive, the body increases cravings and hunger. Studies show that people who regularly consume diet sodas actually have larger waistlines than those who don't. Worse, artificial sweeteners can damage gut microbiota, which plays a major role in metabolism and weight control. For people over 50, where the gut is already more sensitive, this effect is magnified. Better choice. Sparkling water infused with lemon, cucumber, or berries. You get the fizz and flavor without the metabolic chaos. 4. Condiments that pretend to be harmless. Condiments are sneaky. They don't seem like much, just a spoonful on your sandwich or a drizzle on your salad. But they add up fast, especially when they contain sugar, oils, and sodium that promote fat gain. Ketchup, 1 tablespoon can contain a teaspoon of sugar. Multiply that by how much you actually use, and it's a sugar overload. Salad dressings, low-fat or light dressings often contain added sugar and starches. Creamy dressings are usually full of unhealthy oils. Barbecue sauce and marinades, packed with sugar, molasses, and corn syrup. Mayonnaise, standard versions use inflammatory seed oils that disrupt hormone balance. Over 50, your body is less efficient at clearing these calories. Even small amounts of these condiments contribute to steady belly fat accumulation. Better choice. Use mustard olive oil with balsamic vinegar, salsa, or homemade dressings with lemon juice, olive oil, and herbs. 5. Packaged low-calorie snacks. Crackers, rice cakes, and thin cookies all fall into this category. They are marketed as diet-friendly because they are portion-controlled or lower in calories. But here's the truth. They are mostly refined carbs, which digest quickly and spike blood sugar. They are low in protein and fiber, meaning you'll be hungry again soon. They often contain additives and preservatives that disrupt gut health and hormones. After 50, eating foods that don't keep you full leads to overeating later, creating the perfect storm for belly fat. Better choice. Choose nutrient-dense snacks like hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts, or sliced veggies with hummus that stabilize blood sugar and keep you full. 6. Alcohol, the belly fat accelerator. Alcohol deserves its own spotlight. A glass of wine or a cocktail might feel harmless, but it can seriously sabotage belly fat loss after 50. Empty calories. Alcohol provides calories without nutrients. Hormonal disruption. Alcohol reduces testosterone in men and worsens estrogen balance in women, promoting fat storage. Liver overload. Your liver prioritizes breaking down alcohol over metabolizing fat, slowing fat burning dramatically. Snack triggers. Alcohol lowers inhibitions, making you more likely to reach for unhealthy foods. Over time, even moderate drinking can lead to what's often called the middle-aged spread, belly fat that's incredibly difficult to shed. Better choice: limit alcohol to special occasions, and when you do drink, choose dry wine or spirits with soda water and lemon, avoiding sugary mixes. Why these foods hit harder after 50? You may wonder, why do these condiments, drinks, and snacks become more dangerous with age? Cumulative effect. After decades of exposure to sugars and processed ingredients, your body is less resilient. Hormone sensitivity, estrogen, testosterone, and insulin become less balanced, so even small amounts of these foods can create fat-storing signals. Slower recovery. Your liver and gut don't process toxins and additives as efficiently, which magnifies the effect of alcohol, artificial sweeteners, and chemicals. Inflammation. Many of these ingredients, like seed oils and preservatives, promote low-grade inflammation, which specifically encourages fat storage in the belly. Action steps to take now. If you want to break free from these hidden saboteurs, start with these swaps. Replace flavored creamers with unsweetened alternatives. Ditch bottled dressings for homemade olive oil-based ones. Replace soda with sparkling water. Keep snacks whole and simple, like nuts, boiled eggs, or fruit with. Let's take a deeper look at some of the most misleading options on today's shelves. 1. Plant-based meat alternatives. The rise of plant-based burgers, nuggets, and sausages has exploded in recent years. On the surface, they sound like a healthier alternative to red meat, better for the heart, easier on digestion, and even eco-friendly. But when you flip the package over, you often find highly processed ingredients, soy protein isolates, pea protein concentrates, and wheat gluten stripped from their natural state. Added oils. Many are loaded with canola, sunflower, or soybean oil, all pro-inflammatory seed oils linked to belly fat storage. High sodium. Some products pack more sodium than fast food burgers. Fillers and flavorings. Chemicals used to mimic the taste of meat may disrupt gut health. For people over 50, the combination of processed carbs, oils, and sodium leads to inflammation, water retention, and a slower metabolism. Instead of slimming your waistline, these products can make belly fat even more stubborn. Better choice: if you want to eat plant-based, focus on whole food proteins like beans, lentils, quinoa, tempeh, or nuts. 2. Gluten-free products. Gluten-free eating has become a massive trend, and for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, it's absolutely necessary. But here's the trap: many gluten-free products are marketed as healthier, even for people who don't have gluten issues. The reality: most packaged gluten-free bread, crackers, and cookies are made with refined starches, white rice flour, tapioca starch, and potato starch, which spike blood sugar as fast or faster than white bread. Added sugars. To make up for blandness, many gluten-free products contain extra sweeteners. Low fiber content. Unlike whole grains, these products lack the fiber needed to keep blood sugar stable. For someone over 50, this is a disaster combination. High glycemic foods trigger insulin surges, promote cravings, and add to belly fat. Better choice: if you don't have celiac disease, stick with 100% whole grains. If you are gluten sensitive, choose nutrient-rich options like quinoa, buckwheat, or brown rice. 3. Flavored nut milks and plant-based drinks. Almond milk, oat milk, soy milk. They've all become staples for people trying to avoid dairy. But the flavored versions can be silent belly fat promoters. Added sugars. Vanilla or chocolate almond milk can contain as much sugar as soda. Thickeners and gums. Ingredients like carrageenan and guar gum may irritate digestion and promote inflammation. Hidden oils. Some oat milks add vegetable oils to improve texture, which adds unnecessary calories. After 50, where digestion and metabolism slow, these additives pile on extra calories and promote bloating. Better choice: choose unsweetened, plain versions of nut or oat milk, or even better, make your own at home. 4. Healthy smoothie chains. Walk into a smoothie bar, and you'll see an endless menu of blends with names like Energy Boost, Lean Green, or Superfruit Power. They sound healthy, but many pack as much sugar as a milkshake. Common culprits. Fruit juice bases loaded with fructose. Sweetened yogurts or sherbets blended in. Large portion sizes that deliver 60 to 90 grams of sugar in a single drink. For someone over 50, that's a one-way ticket to fat storage. Without the fiber of whole fruit, the sugar hits your bloodstream like a bomb, triggering insulin and feeding belly fat. Better choice. If you enjoy smoothies, make them at home with leafy greens, unsweetened almond milk, a handful of berries, and a scoop of protein powder. 5. Protein powders and meal replacement shakes. Protein is essential after 50. It supports muscle maintenance and boosts metabolism. But not all protein powders are created equal. Artificial sweeteners. Many powders use sucralose, aspartame, or asulfame potassium, which may disrupt hormones and gut bacteria. Excess sugar. Some weight gain or meal replacement shakes pack in added sugar, corn syrup solids, or maltodextrin. Low-quality protein. Cheap whey concentrates may be harder to digest for older adults, causing bloating and discomfort. Better choice. Look for clean, unsweetened protein powders with minimal ingredients, like whey isolate, hemp protein, or collagen peptides. 6. Snackable health foods. Certain snack trends have been marketed as guilt-free, but in reality, they can still sabotage your belly. Veggie chips, often just potato starch with vegetable coloring, not much different from regular chips. Rice cakes, low in calories but high on the glycemic index, leaving you hungry and prone to overeating. Dried fruit. Without portion control, these sugar-dense bites can spike blood sugar and promote fat gain. Trail mix, often loaded with chocolate pieces, sweetened fruit, and salted nuts, turning a healthy concept into a calorie bomb. After 50, snacks that don't fill you up are particularly dangerous. You eat more, get less satisfaction, and end up storing more fat around the belly. Why these trendy foods hit harder after 50? What makes these foods especially deceptive is the halo effect. Because they are marketed as healthy or plant-based, you're more likely to eat larger portions or choose them more frequently. But after 50, your body doesn't forgive those mistakes as easily. Weaker metabolism, even 100 to 200 extra calories a day add up quickly to belly fat. Hormonal imbalances. Foods high in refined carbs and oils worsen insulin resistance and estrogen-testosterone shifts. Digestive sensitivity, additives, gums, and artificial sweeteners disrupt gut health, making it harder to regulate weight. Smarter choices for real health. Here's how you can protect yourself from these trendy traps. Stick to whole, minimally processed plant-based proteins if avoiding meat. Read labels on gluten-free products. Avoid those with added sugar and refined starches. Choose unsweetened, plain nut milks. Make smoothies at home with greens, berries, and protein. Buy clean protein powders without fillers or artificial sweeteners. Keep snacks simple, raw veggies, boiled eggs, plain nuts, or fresh fruit. By now, we've peeled back the layers on healthy breakfast foods, sneaky snacks and condiments, and even trendy health foods that don't live up to their promises. But what about the things that seem the most innocent of all? The foods we often label as natural. This is where it gets even trickier. Because if you're over 50, you've probably been told your whole life to reach for fruit, nuts, and simple whole foods instead of processed junk. And that advice isn't wrong. But even natural foods can become a problem if they are eaten the wrong way, in the wrong form, or in excessive amounts. The truth is, nature's foods are powerful, but your metabolism at 50 plus doesn't respond the same way it did in your 20s or 30s. Certain natural foods can lead to blood sugar spikes, cravings, and stubborn fat storage around the belly, without you realizing it. Let's uncover the biggest culprits. 1. Dried fruit. Raisins, cranberries, apricots, mango slices. They look so small and harmless. But dried fruit is sugar-dense because the water has been removed. A single handful of raisins can contain the sugar equivalent of a candy bar. Many brands add even more sugar or syrup to enhance flavor. Without water and fiber bulk, it's easy to overeat, sending blood sugar soaring. For someone over 50, that sugar surge is a recipe for insulin resistance, increased cravings, and, you guessed it, belly fat. Better choice. Stick with whole fruit in controlled portions. Apples, berries, and pears give you fiber and water volume that slows sugar absorption. 2. Fruit smoothies and bowls. We touched on store-bought smoothies earlier, but even homemade versions can be tricky. A fruit-heavy smoothie or acai bowl may sound natural, but it often contains several servings of fruit in one sitting, way more sugar than you'd eat whole. Toppings like granola, honey, or coconut flakes that add even more sugar and calories. Blending that removes some of the natural fiber that helps regulate blood sugar. At 20, your body might burn through it. At 50, it often turns into stubborn abdominal fat. Better choice, limit fruit to 1 serving per smoothie and add protein, Greek yogurt, protein powder, and fiber, chia seeds, flaxseed, spinach, to balance it out. 3. Nuts and nut butters. Nuts are a great source of healthy fats and protein. But here's the problem. They are extremely calorie-dense, and nut butters can become addictive. A small handful of nuts, about a quarter cup, is fine. But it's easy to double or triple that without realizing. Nut butters often contain added sugar, salt, and oils that magnify the calorie impact. Eating nuts while distracted, like snacking in front of the TV, can lead to unintentional overeating. After 50, when your metabolism has slowed, those extra handfuls add up quickly to belly fat. Better choice, portion nuts carefully, pre-measure a handful and avoid grazing. Choose natural nut butters with only one ingredient, the nut itself. 4. Natural sweeteners. Honey, agave, maple syrup, coconut sugar. These are often marketed as healthier than white sugar. And while they may contain trace minerals or lower glycemic scores, the bottom line is, they are still sugar. Honey can spike blood sugar nearly as much as table sugar. Agave, marketed as low glycemic but very high in fructose, which promotes belly fat and fatty liver. Maple syrup, natural, but calorie-dense and easy to overuse. At 50 plus, your body's ability to tolerate sugar is already reduced. Natural or not, these sweeteners fuel the same fat-promoting mechanisms. Better choice, use sparingly, or try stevia or monk fruit, which don't raise blood sugar. 5. Whole grains in disguise. Whole grains can be part of a healthy diet, but only in moderation and in their true form. The problem arises when whole grain is used as a marketing tool. Whole wheat bread. Many brands mix refined flour with a little whole wheat and still label it whole grain. Brown rice snacks, often processed and stripped of fiber. Granola bars, even when made with oats, they are loaded with sugar and oils. After 50, portion size matters. Even true whole grains can spike blood sugar if eaten in large amounts, especially when paired with little protein or fat. Better choice, stick with minimally processed grains like quinoa, barley, or steel-cut oats, and pair them with protein and vegetables. 6. Potatoes and healthy fries. Potatoes are technically natural, but they are high glycemic and quickly convert to sugar in the body. Baked fries, sweet potato fries, or even mashed potatoes may not be deep-fried, but they still hit blood sugar hard. At 50 plus, where insulin sensitivity is lower, even natural potato dishes can add to belly fat unless carefully portioned. Better choice, replace large servings of potatoes with fiber-rich vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, or zucchini. Why natural foods can backfire after 50. The irony is that many of these foods, fruit, nuts, grains, are healthy in their natural form. The problem comes from portion distortion, smaller body needs plus same large servings equals fat storage. Processing, drying, blending, or refining natural foods makes them act more like sugar in the body. Marketing traps, natural labels convince you it's okay to eat more than you should. Age-related metabolism shifts. Your pancreas, liver, and muscles don't handle sugar and starch as efficiently. How to make natural foods work for you, not against you. The key is balance and mindfulness. Here's how to still enjoy natural foods without fueling belly fat. Eat whole fruits instead of juices or dried versions. Limit nuts to 1 measured serving per day. Use natural sweeteners sparingly, not daily. Choose intact whole grains, not processed versions. Replace carb-heavy sides with non-starchy vegetables. Focus on protein and fiber to slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Even the most natural, we've peeled back the layers, the healthy breakfasts that aren't, the sneaky snacks and condiments, the trendy food traps, and even the natural foods that backfire. Now it's time to pull it all together into a clear blueprint, a guide you can use every day to avoid the foods that quietly expand your waistline and replace them with options that protect your health, energy, and longevity. Because here's the truth, after 50, you can't eat the way you did at 20 or 30. Your body has changed. Hormones are shifting, metabolism is slowing, and muscle mass is naturally declining. The foods you once tolerated without issue may now be pushing your body toward belly fat, inflammation, and long-term health risks. But the good news is this: with the right approach, you can outsmart the traps and create a way of eating that makes belly fat loss possible. Yes, even after 50. The 3 rules of belly fat prevention after 50. To make this blueprint easy to follow, let's begin with 3 golden rules. Control blood sugar like your life depends on it. Every food that spikes blood sugar, whether it's a sugary drink, a refined carb, or even too much fruit, triggers insulin. Insulin is the hormone that tells your body, store fat, especially in the belly. After 50, your cells are more resistant to insulin, so controlling these spikes is critical. Prioritize protein and fiber. Protein preserves muscle mass, which is your body's natural calorie-burning engine. Fiber slows digestion, prevents blood sugar spikes, and keeps you full longer. Together, they are the antidote to belly fat foods. Choose real foods over packaged foods. If it comes in a package with health claims splashed on the front, there's a good chance it's hiding sugars, oils, or additives. The closer a food is to its natural state, the less likely it is to sabotage your waistline. Foods to avoid. The final list. Let's put all the culprits in one place so you know exactly what to limit or eliminate. Breakfast saboteurs, sugary cereals, flavored oatmeal packets, granola. Sneaky drinks, fruit juices, soda, regular or diet, flavored coffee creamers. Snack traps, energy bars, rice cakes, veggie chips, flavored nuts. Condiment culprits, ketchup, sugary dressings, barbecue sauces, mayonnaise with seed oils. Trendy frauds, plant-based meats, gluten-free cookies and crackers, flavored nut milks, smoothie bar blends. Natural backfires, dried fruit, nut butters overused, natural sweeteners, honey, agave, large servings of potatoes. Alcohol, especially regular or heavy consumption. Foods to embrace instead. Just as important as what you cut out is what you replace it with. Here's what fuels a leaner, healthier body after 50. Proteins, wild-caught fish, chicken, turkey, eggs, lean beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, legumes, lentils, tempeh. Vegetables, non-starchy veggies like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, bell peppers, asparagus. Healthy fats, avocados, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, in moderation, seeds, fatty fish, salmon, sardines. Whole fruits, berries, apples, pears, citrus, high in fiber, lower in sugar. Whole grains, in moderation quinoa, barley, steel-cut oats, farro. Herbs and spices, cinnamon, helps regulate blood sugar, turmeric, anti-inflammatory, ginger, garlic. Meal blueprint for a flat belly day. Here's what a belly fat-friendly day could look like. Breakfast, 2 eggs with spinach and mushrooms, plus half an avocado. Black coffee or green tea. Snack, if needed, a handful of raw almonds and a few berries. Lunch, grilled salmon over a big salad with olive oil and lemon. Add quinoa for fiber. Snack, if needed, Greek yogurt with chia seeds. Dinner, roasted chicken breast, cauliflower mash, and steamed broccoli with garlic. Optional treat, herbal tea with a small piece of dark chocolate, 85% cocoa. Notice what's missing. Processed foods, hidden sugars, and sneaky condiments. Yet it's flavorful, filling, and blood sugar stable. Lifestyle shifts that multiply your results. Food is the foundation, but belly fat after 50 is also influenced by lifestyle. Combine these shifts with your food choices, and your results will accelerate. Strength training. Building muscle helps offset the natural decline after 50 and boosts metabolism. Even 2 to 3 sessions a week make a difference. Walking daily, low-intensity movement lowers insulin and stress hormones. Aim for at least 30 minutes. Sleep. Poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones, leading to more cravings and fat storage. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours. Stress management. Chronic stress increases cortisol, a hormone that encourages belly fat storage. Practice deep breathing, yoga, or meditation. Hydration. Drinking enough water aids digestion, reduces cravings, and keeps metabolism efficient. Why this matters beyond the belly. Losing belly fat after 50 isn't just about looking better, it's about living better. Heart health. Reducing visceral fat lowers risk of heart disease and stroke. Metabolic health. Stabilizing blood sugar helps prevent type 2 diabetes. Brain health. Less belly fat is linked to better memory and lower risk of cognitive decline. Longevity. Studies show carrying less visceral fat contributes to longer, healthier lives. When you eliminate the hidden belly fat foods, you're not just changing your waistline, you're changing your future. You thought you were eating healthy. Many of the foods marketed as wholesome, natural, or trendy are actually sabotaging your metabolism after 50. Cereal, juice, condiments, plant-based meats, gluten-free cookies, dried fruits. They all seem innocent, but they quietly fuel insulin resistance, cravings, and stubborn belly fat. But knowledge is power. Now you know the traps. Now you can swap them out for real, nourishing foods that stabilize blood sugar, protect your hormones, and fuel your body the way it was meant to be fueled. And the best part, when you make these changes, you'll not only see a flatter belly, you'll feel more energized, more focused, and more in control than you've felt in years. Because belly fat after 50 isn't inevitable. It's optional. And the choice starts on your plate.